all began back in December. Every team with a positive outlook going forward.
3 seconds. 2, 1. It's good! A buzzer beater.
Through the course of the season, ups and downs.
Knocked down and wins it in overtime. And that will be it. My goodness. Heartbreak.
And now.
Great fight, but they come up just short.
We're in playoff time.
What a ball game. What a classic.
And every team's trying to
earn a trip to the state tournament.
The state tournament. The excitement begins now.
What a night here. They win. My goodness, what a finish.
WCMP Sports presents high school basketball.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome inside Barnum High School for tonight's boys basketball matchup here. It's playoff time, ladies and gentlemen. That is right. It is finally playoff time for boys basketball. It's still girls. Don't worry. We'll have more girls basketball playoff action coming up. But it is the boys' turn to get underway in playoffs now. And tonight we're in Barnum at Barnum High School for tonight's Section 7 AA first round matchup between the Barnum Bombers and the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. Good evening, everybody, and I, of course, am Ethan Game Day Gilman. I will bring you all the action from tonight's matchup between the 5th-seeded Barnum Bombers and your 12th-seeded Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. Should be a good one here tonight. These two teams looking to come out of here with the victory. Of course, we're hoping. No offense, but we're hoping that it is Hinckley-Finlayson. You know, we want all of our teams across Minnesota to do well, but tonight we're hoping that it is the Jaguars who come out with the victory. Of course, for basketball, it's not like spring sports that are coming up. It's one and done instead of like the spring sports. You get to have a loss. You can have a loss and then fight your way back, but here, not the case. You've got to win them all in order to get to that state tournament. And Section 7 AA basketball, and I am here at Barnum High School, and this is my first time being at Barnum High School. And let me tell you, it's a very interesting high school. This gym, very unique. When you're in this gym, it definitely has the feel of a much bigger gym, or for a much bigger school, I should say. And now Barnum, a AA school in most, if not all of sports, recently just came up from single A. They really controlled single A, but this is a very nice high school, very cool high school, I must add. So very, very cool. Again, first time at Barnum High School, but I gotta say, it's a very cool high school. And their gym is, again, it looks like it's meant for a lot bigger of a school, but it is still, nonetheless, very cool gymnasium. Not that we're here for that. We're here for the action that's going to be happening on this basketball court. And this high school and their AD was gracious enough to allow me to be here and call this game, and their AD was kind enough to help me out and get a table all set up for me. He even got me a comfy chair. It was so nice to grab me a comfy chair. But again, here, I want to grab his name, Dusler. David Dusler, the AD here at Barnum, has been gracious. He's been a gracious host, so I appreciate him helping me out. But the Bombers and Jaguars getting set to go at it here this evening as we take a look at both of these teams. We'll start with the home team tonight. I always like to do our local teams last, not because of any particular reason. I just kind of do the home team, or the local teams last. Unless, of course, the local teams are playing each other, then it's usually I do the home team last. But since Hinckley-Finlayson is our local team, we'll do the home team first in the Barnum Bombers. In Section 7 AA, they were the number 5 seed in the playoffs. They finished the regular season, 17-9 and 4-4 in section play. They scored 66 points per game and give up 55 points per game. And it's kind of interesting because those are kind of flip-flop for Hinckley-Finlayson. They score only about 55 points per game and give up 65 points per game. So it is kind of flip-flop for the offense-defense for both sides. But for Barnum, again, 17-9 on the regular season finish, 4-4 in section play. They played out of the Polar League Big Conference, in which they went 1-4 in conference play. ESCO ended the regular season as the conference champions at 4-0 in the conference. 17-8 overall. Right behind them was Moose Lake Willow River at 19-7, 3-1 overall, and then Carleton Wrenshall at 19-7 and 2-2 overall. That conference had all winners in it. No one team had a losing record. The other team, of course, Barnum and, Two Harbors. For Barnum on the season, their 9 losses came against Cromwell Wright, one of their conference teams, and Cherry, a very good single A school. And in fact, when you look at the section that Barnum used to play out of, I believe it was 5A East. It could have been 7, and I could just be confused. But their loss to Cherry shouldn't come as too big of a surprise to anyone. Cherry is the number 1 ranked team in all of Class Single A at 24-2, 10-0 in their conference. Their only 2 losses on the season come in a tournament against bigger schools, and I mean much bigger schools. Forest Lake and Park Center, those are both 4A schools, so much bigger schools that they lost to. But Forest Lake, they only lost to by 4, and then Park Center is one of the top teams in the state. Park Center is a repeat state champion, probably looking to get back there again this year. That Park Center team is just insanely loaded with talent, especially the last couple of years, but those are Cherry's 2 losses. Of course, we're talking about Cherry because Barnum lost to Cherry on the season. And, of course, now my Google wants to throw a fit. So while that's still loading, we'll take a – there we go. There, now it's loaded. Park Center, number 2 in all of the state in Class 4A at 22-3. So just kind of give you a look at some of the teams in common that Barnum has on the year. Cherry on the year, just looking because they're a fun team to look at. They have scored over 100 points. Over 100 points, ladies and gentlemen. Over or at least 100 points. Looking at it, 7 times on the year. 7 times. 7 times on the year. They have scored over 100 points. They've scored 90 points or above. Oh, goodness, I can't even count all that many. In more than, well, actually, let's just look. In all but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games, they scored over 90 points. So in all of their games, except for 7, they scored over 90 points per game to Cherry. That's just fantastic to look at. But for Barnum, as we move back to the original topic, though Cherry, Cromwell Wright they lost to, as well as Deer River. And then Duluth Marshall they also lost to, as well as Moose Lake Willow River, Carleton Wrenshall, again, Esco, Rush City, and 2 Harbors. Now, that Rush City game, Rush City was going into that game, I think only having won 4 or 5 games, and that was their 6th win on the season. It was a fun one. Rush City came out on top. So we'll talk about that here in a little bit as we look at our keys to the game for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and what I think they need to do to get the victory here this evening. But for Barnum, not the greatest of endings to the season as they lost 2 straight to Rush City and 2 Harbors, so they're coming into this one pretty hungry. Their last game was last Friday in which they lost to 2 Harbors, so Barnum coming into this one looking for a win. They're hungry for a win after losing 2 straight coming into this one, of course, most recently on Friday, so it hasn't been a long rest. Only 3 days, but it is a rest nonetheless that they have had time to think about this game, and they're saying to themselves, hey, we need a win. We want to win badly here tonight, but so does Hinckley-Finlayson. Hinckley-Finlayson on the season finished with an 8-18 record. They scored 55 points per game and gave up 65 points per game. They were 1-7 in section play, so section records play a big key in QRF rankings, and unfortunately for Hinckley-Finlayson, they were only 1-7 out of 8 games played in the section. They were also 6-6 in the Great River Conference. That was good enough for 4th, behind Ogilvie in 3rd, Bram in 2nd, and East Central, the Great River Conference champions, in 1st at 12-0. You've got 2 of the squads who were pretty good playoff teams last year in Pine City, Rush City finishing in 2nd to last and 3rd to last. So very interesting the way the Great River Conference shook out this year. But taking a look at Hinckley-Finlayson, they had 3 straight wins to open the season over Pine City, Ogilvie, and Mille Lacs. So a great way to start the regular season with 3 straight conference wins. But then they had a loss against Carleton Wrenshall, Howard Lake Waverly, Winsted, and then their first section loss, which was against Aiken. Then they went into a holiday tournament up in Esco where they fell to Esco and East Central. So they lost their first conference game in that tournament. Then out in the new year, they came out and won before losing to Moose Lake Willow River and beating McGregor. Then they would go on a 3-game losing streak, which they lost to Morrow, Ogilvie, and Bram. So 2 conference losses there before beating Pine City again. But then it was 4 straight losses to Crosby, Ironton, Rush City, East Central, and Pillager. Now, they did beat Rush City earlier in the season, right at the beginning of the new year. January 4th, coming out of that ESCO tournament, they won over Rush City, but then they lost to Rush City. Rush City has been a very interesting team. And to be fair, the Great River Conference this year is kind of, I don't want to say lacked consistency, but consistency just hasn't quite been there all year long for the Great River Conference teams, like it has maybe for an East Central of all sorts. So after losing those 4 straight games, they did beat Mille Lacs, but then lost to Malacca before beating and getting their last win over Proctor. Now, I was at that game against Proctor. Hinckley-Finlayson did a great job. Kind of a tale of 2 halves. They went off in that first half, and really their offense got on a hot streak, but then in the second half they just kind of couldn't really put it together. It was just more or less they slowed the offense down a little bit, knowing that they had really full control of that game, even though you might be saying to yourself, it was only on an 11-point win. Well, it was a lot more convincing than what the scoreboard shows. But then they came out after that win and lost their last 4 to Piers, East Central, Barnum, funny enough, and Bram. Now, not funny enough, but they did only play Barnum 2 weeks ago now, Tuesday, February 20th. Their last game, they've had a good amount of rest since they played their last regular season game. In fact, they played their last regular season game when some of our girls' teams played their last regular season game on Thursday, February 22nd. So this Hinckley-Finlayson team is coming into this one well-rested, looking for a win. And if I'm, coming off of a season where I only finished 8-18, and you certainly could have had a few more wins on the docket, getting pretty much a 2-week rest before playing my first playoff game definitely is helpful. Now, it might not be helpful for some teams because that long of a rest can get you out of game mode. And I think for a lot of teams it could spell disaster, but I think for Hinckley-Finlayson, the way they played their season, there were a ton of games each and every week. It seemed like each and every week was action-packed. So for them, I think coming out after a 26-game season and having a 2 weeks of rest, I think that bodes well for this team. I know they were suffering some injuries, so for them to come out and be able to have 2 full weeks of rest before getting into this one, I think will prove well for this squad. I remember when I looked at the schedule and I was talking about it, I was like, really? That's going to be their last game of the season, huh? And it for sure was, of the regular season anyways. And unfortunately, they did lose to Bram at home, but again, 2 weeks of rest to kind of sit there, go over all the game film that you've watched, correct the mistakes that you want to correct, look at the teams you could possibly face, and for the most part, they were kind of cemented into that number 12 spot was Hinckley-Finlayson. The only team that was possibly going to jump them was Mesabi East, but they didn't. Now, they could have jumped over Piers, because Piers had a 9-17 record, but was 2-6 in section play. So their spot at the number 12 seed was kind of cemented in there. So their only question was, who were they going to play? Was it going to be Barnum? Was it going to be Staples Motley? Maybe Pillager? Maybe even Duluth Marshall? But it was, I think, more or less between Barnum and Moose Lake Willow River, and because Moose Lake Willow River ended with a 19-7 record and not a 17-9 record, that's why Barnum was able to get that 5th seed, and that's who Hinckley-Finlayson will play. WCMP out of Pine City. So we had a young man asking about what radio station we're with. Appreciate him coming up and asking, and so. But yeah, so that's how it kind of all worked out. Barnum with the 17-9 record got that 5th seed, and of course they lost their last 2. So we're coming into this one looking at 2 teams who coming into tonight's game with losses for their last regular season game. So both teams going to be extremely hungry. One team in the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars comes in with 2 weeks of rest. Barnum only 3 days, well, not even 3 days. I guess you could call it 2.5 days because their last game was Friday. So they got Saturday, Sunday, and then the school day today for rest, and that was it. That was all that Barnum had. But Hinckley-Finlayson coming into this one with about 2 weeks of rest, looking for a first-round win over Barnum, but we'll have to wait and see. I think tonight's game is going to be a lot closer than some people might expect. If you're a Barnum fan, of course, you're going to be thinking, well, it's going to be our team, and on paper it would kind of heavily favor Barnum. But I think in this game, I think it is going to be a little bit more even than what people think it might be, especially for Barnum fans. I think Hinckley-Finlayson, I think with those 2 weeks of rest, I just think they're going to come into this one fresh. And not that coming off and only playing a game last Friday is going to prove bad for Barnum. It's going to mean that they're tired. I don't think that's the case at all, but I do think coming into playoffs fresh is certainly bodes well for Hinckley-Finlayson. But again, I could be wrong. Barnum might come out here having played Friday and get into a rhythm a little bit earlier than Hinckley-Finlayson might be able to. But we'll all have to wait and see because we are about 2.5 minutes away from our pregame festivities concluding, and then we'll get to our national anthem and our starting lineups, and then we'll have basketball action here in Barnum at Barnum High School for the first round of the Section 7 AA playoffs between the Bombers of Barnum and the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. So we're going to take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll probably have tip-off ready for you here inside Barnum High School. Of course, you are listening to Boys Playoff Basketball on 100.9 FM, WCMP, and audio only, of course, at WCMPradio.com.
Hey, girl, good to see you. You look great. What are you doing?
Oh, thanks. Been watching what I eat, like eating fresh.
Sounds awesome, but how do you do that living around here?
Chris's Food Center in Sandstone.
Chris's Food Center in Sandstone?
Yep, Chris's Food Center has top quality produce and meats, which helps me to buy fresh ingredients for me and my family.
Find Chris's Food Center online to view their weekly ads at chrisfoodcenter.com. Eat better, buy more, and spend less at Chris's Food Center in Sandstone. Open 7 days a week.
Exhale slowly, letting any tension leave your body. Breathe in deeply as you stretch every fiber of your soul.
This woman's gonna kill me.
I know, and she's so boring.
Now, lift your back.
I'd rather have the WCMP deals guy leading this class.
Oh, yeah.
This week, snag a 30-minute massage at Pine City Family Chiropractic for only $45. Breathe.
WCMPradio.com/deals. Slowly now. WCMPradio.com/deals. Now, breathe.
Hinckley Towing.
Hi, I'm on the side of the highway with a flat. Can you help me?
On the way.
Hinckley Towing?
Yep. How can we help?
We just had an accident and don't know where to bring the vehicle.
No sweat. We'll come out now and bring you back to our collision center.
Hinckley Towing. Experienced drivers, state-of-the-art trucks, and 24/7 service. For Hinckley Towing, call 320-385-4049 anytime. Hinckley Towing. 320-385-4049 anytime.
Promoting good health in children is the best way to ensure they'll enjoy good health as adults. Don't skip out on your children's wellness appointments. Call Wellia Health today at 320-679-1313 to set up a Well Child visit. Our friendly family medicine providers love to support young families by helping your children stay healthy, active, and feeling their very best. WelliaHealth.org.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit. Your ride.
So we've got a few more minutes before tip-off. They had a 20-minute warm-up session, now a 5-minute session before the teams take the court. And while we do that, we'll come back and thank our fine sponsors, get some live reads done. Of course, have you got your 2024 restaurant passport yet? Better grab one at one of our 20 participating local restaurants, because it's your chance to win free food. Details at WCMPradio.com. Also, whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, get into Here's the Pitch in North Branch. State-of-the-art batting cages for baseball and fast-pitch softball. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. Winter? What winter? I mean, we really didn't have a winter this year. Since you're probably getting ready to go out into the garden, Beaver Meadow Garden Center will be opening for the season, March 7th. Beaver Meadow Garden Center opening Thursday, the 7th. That is 3 days away, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, believe it or not, this Thursday, Beaver Meadow Garden Center in Hinckley is, well, I think it's technically Hinckley, but one exit south of Hinckley is going to be opening for their season this Thursday. So be sure to get on out there and get all your gardening supplies for the upcoming season. Again, looking at this winter, man, it was crazy. As we came into November, it got a little chilly, but it wasn't cold. December came and went. I think we had maybe a fluff of snow, maybe just a little. You can't even call it a dusting. I don't think it was enough to see, but it wasn't enough to stay on the ground really. So I mean, there was that. And then Christmas came. We had a brown Christmas, which it seems like it happens every 5 or so years. And then basketball season came without very much snow to talk about. I think we had one thing of a snow storm, if you will, where there was any measurable snow, and measurable snow is aggressive because it was maybe an inch and a half from our local listening areas, from Hinckley or Moose Lake down to Forest Lake and Siren over to Princeton. I think between that area there was maybe an inch and a half, 2 inches, I think, is all we got in the heaviest of snowfalls this year. So not much of a winter. Now we're heading over into spring. I remember one of the first years I was calling games, how it was one of the playoff games for boys, and I was over in Mora, and it was like, man, winter's kind of over. Spring is here, and it was kind of just the turning of the seasons, and it's kind of interesting how basketball season starts kind of smack dab in the middle of winter, and then by the time the season's over, we're getting into spring. Unless it was last year, because last year, well, you didn't get into spring. It was winter, some more winter, and then sprummer, if you will, because it never really turned to summer either. But, oh well, that's my little time grabber here while we got a little bit of time. Hinckley-Finlayson going to be battling against the Barnum Bombers here. We're about set for tip-off inside Barnum High School in this Section 7 AA matchup between the number 12 seeded Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the number 5 seeded Barnum Bombers. In this, the first round of the Section 7 AA playoffs. We're going to take another minute to hear a word from our fine sponsors. When we come back, we will be set for tip-off inside Barnum High School for this boys basketball matchup here on WCMP.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. If your batter needs some individual instruction, Here's the Pitch has lessons with current and former collegiate instructors. Make the right call today. They've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Keep it clean at Maytag Laundry, with locations in North Branch, Pine City, Cambridge, and Mora. Whether you have rugs that need cleaning, quilts, or comforters, no job is too big for the machines at Maytag Laundry. Your items will look brand new. Whatever you need clean, the machines at Maytag Laundry are up for the task. So when you need to keep it clean, look to the big machines at Maytag Laundry in North Branch, Pine City, Cambridge, and Mora.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320-384-7002. 320-384-7002.
At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well. At every age and every stage. If you've been busy taking care of everything else but neglecting your own personal health, don't let another year go by without making yourself a priority. Get an annual checkup. Please schedule an appointment at Wellia Health today. Call us at 320-679-1313 or welliahealth.org.
More customers, more name recognition, more employees, more market share. If you'd like a little more for your business, it's time to start digital advertising. Did you know that the average person spends 4.5 hours per day on their smartphone? It's time for you to start reaching them. Streaming TV, SEO or SEM, display ads, and email marketing. If your business could use a little more, contact us now and we can help. info@q-mediagroup.com.
AOML. BRB. B4N. Period 02. BF. 143. AAK. 1 AM. Apostrophe S apostrophe.
These are two teenage girls texting each other, and we have no idea what they're saying either. Maybe the WCMP Deals guy can translate.
This week, grab your tickets to the new Wrangler Stampede Rodeo. 3 options to choose from. BEG. Big Evil Grin.
No, I don't think that's what they were saying at all. But find these and other great deals at WCMPradio.com/deals. WCMPradio.com/deals. OMG. TTYL. Money sign, heart emoji.
Kettle River Pizza is a proud supporter of sports teams and community organizations. Local groups and teams across the state have had amazing success with Kettle River Pizza fundraising. From sausage and pepperoni to chicken Alfredo or the hot Hawaiian, the cheesy deliciousness practically sells itself. Visit kettleriverpizza.com to schedule your next fundraiser. It's so easy to get started. Got a pizza craving now? Pick up a Kettle River Pizza at your local grocery store or convenience store today.
Kettle River Pizza, the handcrafted pizza made locally in Ask Cove, Minnesota. Always the highest quality ingredients. Pizza that is consistently great tasting. A true crowd pleaser. 16 varieties to choose from. Enjoy the classics like pepperoni, pepperoni sausage and supreme, to the unique tastes of hot Hawaiian, taco, buffalo chicken, and chicken Alfredo. Pick some up at your local grocer, tavern, or convenience store. Handcrafted Kettle River Pizza. Moms and basketball players approved.
Back here on WCMP, getting set for the tip-off of this game. Taking a look at your starting lineups for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars as the visitors. They will have number 11, Peyton Ammerman, 13, Griffin Steele, 25, Grady Osmus, 30, Seth Olson, and 32, Trey Visser. They are head coached by Dan Kreff. For the Barnum Bombers, it will be number 2, Carlos Beckstrand, 3, Pierce Corpella, 11, Brooks Gustafson, 13, Hayden Charbonneau, and 35, Bryce Ferguson. It's Ferguson and Steele at center court for the tip, and it's won by the Bombers, who are head coached by Rich Newman. They're wearing their maroon home uniforms, the yellow letters and numbers outlined, and it looks like, I believe, black. The yellow trim on the neck and shoulders, and this ball nearly stolen away by Griffin Steele, and we'll call it a steal for Steele. Now the Jaguars come back the other way. Jaguars going left to right on your radio dial. Bombers right to left. Again, it's not the Brand Bombers. It's the Barnum Bombers. Griffin Steele drives inside. Shot is up. No good. Rebounded there by Charbonneau. And the Bombers take it back the other way. Gustafson with it. Gives it off to Carlos Beckstrand. Now back on the near side for 3 from Ferguson. That's no good. Getting the rebound and laying it back in for 2 is Pierce Corpella. So Bombers take the early 2-0 lead. Here come the Jaguars back the other way. Seth Olson with it. Looking at the net from the free throw line. Then tried to give it over to Trey Visser, but it's over his head out of bounds. That will be the first turnover for Hinckley-Finlayson. Now 1 apiece as the Bombers have it back. Beckstrand brings it up the court. He gives it off on the near side to Ferguson. Ferguson also on the near side to Gustafson. Excuse me, no, that's Charbonneau. Charbonneau looking for Gustafson, and now it's stolen away by Seth Olson. Olson takes it all the way to the basket. Can't get the roll. And rebounded there by Ferguson this time after the Ammerman miss. And then this pass will go out of bounds. And knocked away by Barnum, so we'll stay with the Jags. They get it back, I should say. Steele will inbound to Visser. Visser the near side. Takes it, driving inside. Shot is up, and it might have been blocked. Ferguson will come away with it. It's Beckstrand bringing it up the court. Gives it off near side now to Gustafson. Gustafson back top the key to Ferguson. Ferguson looks, holds it over the defender. Gives it near side corner to Gustafson. Now to Beckstrand inside to Corpella. Corpella top the key Ferguson. Ferguson fakes a shot. Gives it out to Charbonneau. Charbonneau loses it. Pulls it back in. Gives it to Beckstrand. Beckstrand spin move. Shot up. It was blocked and tipped by Seth Olson. So Seth Olson with the tip. And now nearly stolen right back by the Bombers, but they hold on to it. Oh, and Griffin Steele, a beautiful pass there by Trey Visser. Steele gave it in the near side corner to Visser, and Visser gave it back to Steele, slashing to the basket. And unfortunately, he couldn't hang on to it, so that'll give it back to the Bombers now on a turnover. Jaguars wearing their white away uniforms, the black letters and numbers outlined in red. Red trim on the neck, shoulders, and bottom of the shorts. And then this is going to be a turnover for Barnum, as they have this pass go awry, and it's going to go out of bounds and back to Hinckley-Finlayson. Inbound to Trey Visser. 2-0 is the Barnum lead with just under 3 minutes gone off the clock, and that pass was, I think, supposed to be a pass, but it goes off the backboard, and Charbonneau is going to bring in a technical rebound, even though it was considered would be considered a pass. Ferguson with the shot and a beautiful pass from Beckstrand, and then rebounded, swatted back out to Gustafson. This shot up no good, rebounded by Trey Visser. Hammerman gets it, back to Trey Visser, slashing to the basket. Grady Osmus can't get it to fall, but he is fouled, so he'll go line and shoot two. A prime opportunity there for the Jaguars to get a possible three-point play, but it's going to be the first foul here on Barnum, and the first on Corpella, and now at the line again to shoot two is Grady Osmus. That one will roll off the front of the rim and fall through. So we got the friendly roll on that one, did Osmus, and now he'll set up for his second. And this one's up and good as well. So Grady Osmus drops in both of them to tie us at 2 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. 3 locations, Pine City, Lynchburg, and Cambridge. Beckstrand takes it up the court, tries to give it off to Corpella. He does now. That ball was up for grabs, but Charbonneau got it back for the Bombers. Now gives it top of the key, Charbonneau for 3. That's off the mark, and a rebound there by Grady Osmus. He gives it to Visser. Visser up on the near side, gives it off to Seth Olson. Olson in the near side corner wanted to go inside to Visser, but Visser will come back to the top of the key. He'll give it back to Olson in the near side corner. Fakes the shot, drives inside. He's double teamed now, gives it to Ammerman. Ammerman on the near side, look for a screen from Osmus. He'll give it off on the far side, to Steele. Steele's got that quick twitch ability. He jumps up, holds the ball. Peyton Ammerman for 3. That's off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Corpella of the Bombers. It's Beckstrand who takes it up the court for Barnum. Now on the near side to Gustafson, trying to go inside, and that one's going to be laid in by Corpella for his second basket to make it 4-2 in favor of Barnum. Olson brings it up the court now, getting around one defender, trying to slash inside. Shot is up, no good, but they're going to get a foul on Barnum, and I believe it will send Olson to the line for 2. And that one is going to go against Brooks Gustafson. Yes. So his first, team second, and now Seth Olson at the line for 2. That one's going to fall short, so no good on the first one. Checking in for the Barnum Bombers is 15 and 51. 15, that is Julian Beckstrand. And 51, of course, is Brock Hurst. And Seth Olson will drop in 1 of 2 there to make it 4-3, still in favor of Barnum. Inside now to Hurst. Hurst, he gets that one to fall in for 2. Make it 6-3. Bringing it up the other way for the Jaguars is Visser. Visser gives it off near side to Steele. Steele, again, a very good athlete all around. Now gives it off near side. Visser, quick trigger. 3 is good. And Trey Visser drops it in to tie us at 6 apiece. Pass up the court here. Julian Beckstrand takes it all the way. And a nice drive by Julian Beckstrand to drop that one in for 2. smooth on that one. And now the Jaguars have it back. Visser, far side for Olsen. Olsen dribbles himself into a double team, lost the basketball, still up for grabs, somehow got it back, gives it to Dre Visser again. His next attempt at three is going to be no good. This ball up for grabs. Ammerman somehow going to come up with the rebound. He lost it, and then the throw at the basket's no good, and a rebound there for Brock Hurst. Somehow the Jaguars came up with that rebound. Now going all the way inside. Blocked from behind by Griffin Steele. That gives it back to Hinckley-Finlayson. Griffin Steele seemingly coming out of nowhere, found a portal in there somewhere, and got the block from behind. Now gives it off to Visser in the near side corner, back to Olsen. Olsen dribbles near side, trying to spin move. He spins back, now forward, tries to get the reverse layup, which is no good. Grady Osmus gets the rebound. He can't drop it in, but he's fouled, and he'll go line to shoot two. And I believe they got Julian Beckstrand on that one, if I've seen the referee's hands correctly. I think he put up a 1 and a 5. He did. That'll be his first and the team's third. So Grady Osmus at the line for two. That one's good. And a substitution here for both sides. Coming in for the first time, though, for Hinckley-Finlayson is number 52. And, of course, that's Ty Westrom. Osmus, second one, no good. Rebounded there by Brock Hurst. So it's 8-7 now. Barnum still with the lead. Brock Hurst trying to drive inside. A little bit of an iffy foul there. They're going to get Ty Westrom on the foul. It'll be his first and the team's, and it sends Brock Hurst to the line for two. Only the team's first for Hinckley-Finlayson, but Hurst now at the line to shoot two. First one is up, and no good. Sub here for Hinckley-Finlayson. It's going to be number 50, which is Blake Blowers. Brock Hurst with his second. It's good. So 1 of 2 there for Brock Hurst and make it 9-7. Charbonneau checks back in for the Bombers for Hurst, but here come the Jaguars with it. It's Visser bringing it up the court. Looking, gets a screen from Blowers, and a long two is good there from Trey Visser to tie us at 9. So 9 apiece now in the first half. It's Beckstrand with it. Looking. Gives it off near side now to Julian. Back to Carlos. Carlos thought about three and instead gives it off near side. And that shot is no good. And a rebound there for Ty Westrom. Also into the game, number 5, Owen Peterson for the Bombers. That passes. That pass by the Jaguars is off the mark, intended for Blake Blowers, and it will be a turnover, and it will go back to Barnum. Beckstrand fakes the pass inside, gives it outside now to Peterson. Now on the far side, a three here is through for Bryce Ferguson to make it 12-9 to break our tie. Jaguars come back with it, and stuck with it is Visser. He gives it off the near side to Steele. Steele trying to drive inside, gets through a double team, then gives it to Ammerman, a little floater, and it falls through for Peyton Ammerman. Makes it 12-11. Beckstrand back up the court with it. That's Carlos. Now gives it off on the far side to Peterson. Now near side to Julian. Julian for three. No good. And Peyton Ammerman had a chance at the rebound. That's going to go out of bounds off a member of the Jags, and it will stay with Barnum. Ammerman just couldn't hold on to the rebound there, and Barnum catches a break. Julian will inbound to Charbonneau, and now we're going to get a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson. Did they get Westrom? I think they did. Should be his second. No, they're going to get 32, Trey Visser, with his first, team second. Inbound to Owen Peterson. Back top the key to Carlos. Carlos driving inside. Shot is up, and no good. Ty Westrom with the rebound. They had numbers, but they slow things down a little bit. Visser has it on the far side. He thought about three, gives it off to Ammerman. Ammerman on the far side. He pauses and looks, gives it over now to Steele. Steele, top of the key. Drives inside, gives it back outside to Visser. Visser drives inside, a floater, no good. And rebounded there by Carlos Beckstrand. He turns on the Jets. Looking for that fast break. It's no, they're gonna get a foul call. Coaches for Hinckley-Finlayson wanted a travel or at least a jump ball. They're not gonna get it. It'll be the third team. Third team foul for Hinckley-Finlayson, and now the scoreboard. A little bit of a malfunction. They got it fixed, though. 12-11 is our score. It was Griffin Steele who got called for that last foul. 10:06 left here in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics. Their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly and comfortable atmosphere. Inbound is stolen away by Seth Olson. And now we get a timeout called here. And I believe that one called by Hinckley-Finlayson. And that would be their first. It will be the 30-second variety, so we'll keep it right here. It's the first time out by either squad, as we're 8 minutes into this one on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. And that also gives us a minute to look at our Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard once again, which has the Bombers leading 12-11 over your Jaguars. Embrace Orthodontics, they'll leave you with a smile you'll embrace forever. Also, if your green thumb is starting to itch, Beaver Meadow Garden Center will be opening for the 2024 season March 7th. Come in for your seeds, ideas, and garden starter needs. Keep up to date this year by following Beaver Meadow on Facebook. Also, the tastiest way to our local area, the Restaurant Passport. Pick one up, collect stamps at the participating restaurants, and win gift certificates to those same places. A winner every day, and our grand prize winner will receive $500 in gift cards. Here's the pitch. The Premier Indoor Batting Cages offers individual batting lessons taught by current and former collegiate athletes. Touch them all this season by tuning up your swing at Here's the Pitch in North Branch. Here's the pitchmn.com to learn more. Out of the timeout, the Jaguars do have the ball. It's Westrom who gives it off to Olson, now to Visser. Visser on the near side, gives it back to Westrom. And Westrom back over to Olson. Olson, he'll drive from far or near side to far side, which is left to right. Well, for me, radio dial, not so much. Be up and down, I guess, or down and up. We're confusing ourselves, but Ty Westrom has it back. Top of the key, now gives it to Visser. Visser going to take a shot at the basket because the shot clock was winding down, and this rebound gets swatted and will wind up in the hands of Bryce Ferguson for Barnum. Julian Beckstrand with it, gives it to Carlos. Carlos, top of the key. He got called for the travel, and that'll be a turnover. So ball goes back to Hinckley-Finlayson. 7 turnovers for Barnum, 3 for Hinckley-Finlayson. So Hinckley-Finlayson leading in the turnover category. I guess not leading, but you know what I mean. 12-11, Jaguars trail by 1. Pass inbound to Blowers. Now Westrom driving baseline, tried to give it inside, more or less forced it inside to Osmus. And, could have been a foul call, but they're going to get the jump ball. Possession arrow favors Hinckley-Finlayson as Osmus and a member of Barnum fight for that one, but it winds up being a jump ball. So Westrom will get set to inbound now for Hinckley-Finlayson, does to Blowers. It's a little bit of a lob over everybody. Olson fakes the 3, now tries to drive inside. He has stopped by Charbonneau. He'll give it to Westrom. Westrom on the far side. Now 5 seconds to shoot. Seth Olson, a shot no good. Blowers with the rebound, throws it back into the basket for 2. Blowers, a tough rebound there, battling through bodies and contact, but got it to fall. 13-12. Jags with the lead under that halfway mark now in this first half. Charbonneau has it near side, top of the key now to Ferguson, on the far side to Beckstrand. That's Carlos. Carlos, almost a travel instead. It'll be stolen away by Visser. So Visser with the steal for Hinckley-Finlayson. Another turnover for Barnum, and a 3 here for Seth Olson is off the mark. Grady Osmus with the rebound, and a 2 there from Ty Westrom to make it 15-12. Hinckley-Finlayson. Carlos Beckstrand has it. Gives it near side Charbonneau. Charbonneau goes far side to Carlos. Now to Ferguson. Ferguson back outside Carlos. Carlos makes one defender miss, gives it off on the near side after dribbling to Julian Beckstrand for 3. And that is good, and will tie us at 15. 15 apiece here with under 8 minutes to go. Blowers has it for the Jags. Blowers looking. He's going to give it off to Grady Osmus. To Visser, now on the far side for Olsen. Olsen finds a little bit of a lane to drive through. Misses, gets his own rebound. Turnaround jumper is good. So Seth Olsen doing the work on that possession. Drops it in for 2. And that was a smart move, though, by Seth Olsen, because on the far side, he saw that he had that baseline to drive. He got it. Didn't get the shot to fall initially. Got his own rebound. And then got a wild shot to fall in. Bombers passing it around the horn. Carlos with it. Now to Charbonneau. Near side corner to Ferguson. Now back to Carlos. Carlos thought about 3. Had it knocked out of his hands. Ball is still up for grabs. Carlos Beckstrand's going to get it back. Oh, they're going to get a foul, and that cannot be called a foul there. That has to be called jump ball. They had dual possession, and that's going to be not the best of foul calls. It will be the team's 4th, and Blowers first. Couple substitutions for each side. And nobody new that I can see. Julian Beckstrand looking to inbound. He does to Charbonneau near side. Now top of the key to Carlos Beckstrand. He's working towards that timeline. Now gives off Charbonneau near side for 3, and that is good. That's his first points of the night to make it 18-17. And one thing right now that I'm seeing that that's Barnum has a little bit of an advantage with is the perimeter shot, which Hinckley-Finlayson hasn't found quite yet. But I mean, they found one, but not as often as Barnum has. Seth Olsen has it, and that's got to be a foul. Oh, there it is. They were all over Seth Olsen on that far sideline, and they do get the call. It's going to be the first foul on Carlos Beckstrand. Team's 4th. Jags will get set to inbound with Griffin Steele. Steele looking. He's going to have to lob it in somewhere. He does to Osmus. Osmus battling hard. Got it to fall in for 2, plus the and 1 opportunity. So he's fouled, and he'll go to the line for that 3-point play possibility. It's Pierce Corpella with the second foul of his evening, the 5th for the team. And Osmus, no good on the free throw, so it will only be 2 points as that was rebounded by Charbonneau. Charbonneau takes the top of the key, drives inside the perimeter, shot is up, no good. And Ammerman for Hinckley-Finlayson is going to grab the rebound. Quickly up the court, gives it to Steele. Far side pass to Olsen. Olsen pops off a 3, and it is good. 22-18. Jags with the lead. Julian Beckstrand gives it inside Corpella. Corpella back to Julian. Julian wants to go to Carlos. Carlos, he has it inside. He's bothered. They let him go. They're going to get a foul. Or are they going to say, yeah, foul, okay. Wasn't sure if they were going to say a kickball there because he said about the knee, but I think the knee got into the chest of Carlos Beckstrand. So it will be a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson on Blowers, his 2nd, team's 5th. And Barnum will inbound. And checking in is Brooks Gustafson. And, oh my goodness. Steele wound up on the floor. I don't know how. I was checking my roster sheet to see number 11. That's Brooks Gustafson. I did not see what had happened. Gustafson will inbound to Carlos Beckstrand. Carlos on the near side. Drives. Shot is up. Got it to fall. And they're going to plus the and 1. So 22-20. That'll be the 16th foul for Hinckley-Finlayson and the 2nd on Trey Visser. And Carlos Beckstrand, no good on the free throw. So it'll only be 2 for him and rebounded by Grady Osmus. Visser brings up the court, gives it to Steele. Steele, sidestep for 3, no good, and it is... We're going to say You get a foul here on... So I'm not real sure what the call is. They've got Hinckley-Finlayson to inbound. 22-20. They're talking about it on the far side. Initially, I thought Ferguson rebounded it. Then I seen a foul call, and now they're going to discuss. Well, not real sure what happened there, but must have been either travel or a foul on somebody, and that one's going to be off of Barnum. Osmus surprised, but that was clearly off of a member of the Jags, and unfortunately they didn't realize it, so it goes back to Barnum. And Osmus thought it was off of a member of Barnum, but it was not. I had a good view of that one, and that one was off of a member of the Jags. But Gustafson has it for the Bombers, gives it to Julian Beckstrand. He shoots over everybody. Shot is up, no good. And Grady Osmus with the rebound, and he was fouled. So it'll be the 7th, and that will be 1-1 now for Hinckley. So he's second on Julian Beckstrand. Well, it's only the 6th, excuse me. I forgot how to count, ladies and gentlemen. Visser with it for the Jags, gives it off to Ammerman. Ammerman now to Steele, to Osmus. Now back to Visser. Visser trying to find a way inside. Instead gives it back to Olsen. Olsen trying to find his way inside, and they're going to get a travel call. And it looked a little bit awkward. I thought he had maybe taken one too many, and he did. That'll be their 5th turnover of the first half. 8 for Barnum. Carlos Beckstrand into the game once again. He'll bring it up the court. Goes to Owen Peterson. Owen Peterson thought about the threes, pulls it down, gives it over to Carlos Beckstrand. He loses his dribble. He would have had a 3 if he wanted it, but pulls it down. Now to Gustafson on the far side for Peterson. Peterson to Carlos Beckstrand for 3. He short-armed that one, and they're going to get That is the lightest of fouls I have ever seen called. It'll be the 7th on Hinckley-Finlayson, and the 1st on Peyton Ammerman. So 3 now for Carlos Beckstrand as he's at the line. No good on the first. Beckstrand no good on the second. And good on this one. So 1 of 3 on that trip to the line from Carlos Beckstrand. It's 22-21. Jaguars with the lead. Ammerman lets it roll to the timeline before he picks it up to start the clock. We're at 4 minutes to go here in the first half. Seth Olsen holds the ball top of the key, gives it over to Steele. Steele now to Ammerman. Ammerman takes one dribble, gives it out to Steele. That's off the mark, no good. And Beckstrand will get the rebound. And we'll get a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson as I think Owen Peterson was the bomber who took the shot. And they will get Griffin Steele for his second foul. Team's 8th, and Owen Peterson at the line for 2. First one's up, no good by Owen Peterson. This one is through. Took a friendly bounce there for Owen Peterson, and it will tie us at 22 apiece. Trey Visser brings it up the court for Hinckley-Finlayson, gives it inside Osmus. Osmus, that spun around in his hand for a second, then he gives it back outside to Visser. That's going to go off the front of the rim. Bombers got away with a shove, a big shove too, from Brock Hurst, and they didn't see it. Should have been a foul, but they didn't call it. Gustafson, far side, 3 is good. Excuse me, that's Ferguson. Ferguson for 3, and the Bombers retake the lead, 25-22, under 3.5 minutes to go. Steele with the ball. He'll give it back now to Olsen at the top of the key. Olsen pulls it down. He's in some trouble. And a double team now to Steele. Steele driving inside. Lost the ball. Still up for grabs. Still up for grabs. And that is going to be Bomber ball. So that ball hit around a few times. And it was swatted out by a member of the Jags as they tried to get it to go off of a member of the Bombers, but it goes out of bounds off of the Jags. So Bombers have it back, leading by 3 with under 3 minutes to go in the first half. Owen Peterson has the far side, gives it back to Ferguson. Ferguson back to Peterson. Peterson looking, wanted to go back to Ferguson. Instead, holds on to it, gives it to Carlos. Carlos gets around one defender, drives inside, back outside to Peterson. And Peterson cannot hold on to it, and that will be a turnover for them. Their 9th. 2:33 to go. Visser back up the court for Hinckley-Finlayson. Visser past one defender, now to Ammerman in the far side corner. To Grady Osmus, now Seth Olsen. Seth Olsen gives it over to Ammerman. Ammerman takes one look at the basket, then gives it outside Visser. Visser trying to drive, and Visser's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1, as that is the Bombers team's 7th. That one's going to go against Carlos Beckstrand, his 2nd. And again, it sends Trey Visser to the line for a 1-and-1. So no good on the shot by Visser, rebounded by Brock Hurst of Barnum. Back the other way, and it's Seth Olsen who comes up with the steal as that ball laid on the ground for a moment. Peyton Ammerman brings it up the court. He's in some trouble. He finds Visser, then gives it off to Grady Osmus, who's got it up and in for 2. They'll bring the Jags back within 1, 25-24. Carlos Beckstrand the other way to Peterson, to Ferguson for 3. It's good. And again, Ferguson getting that long ball to work. That is something that Barnum has shown here early and often. That's something that Hinckley-Finlayson just doesn't have right now. Visser, Olsen trying to answer, and he shuts me up real quick. He says, what do you mean we don't have a long ball? Right there, 28-27. Carlos Beckstrand back up the court with it. Under a minute and a half to go in the first half on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Team at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible with custom light force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. A shot, no good. Then Brockhurst got the rebound, put it back up and in for 2 to make it 30-27 in favor of Barnum. Now a 3 from Seth Olsen, going to be well off the mark. And that will go back to Barnum. Seth Olsen trying to draw the foul. Ref did not buy, which there was a foul like that called on the other end for Hinckley-Finlayson. So surprised that one wasn't, but might have been a little bit more of Olsen going into the foul per se. But Bombers have it back. Owen Peterson with it, gives it over now to Ferguson for 3. And that one's going to be no good. Rebounded here by Seth Olsen. Olsen up the court. He's got to pick it up because he was losing possession. Gives it to Visser. Visser directing traffic. Now over to Olsen on the far side. Olsen trying to drive baseline. Gives it underneath to Blowers. Blake Blowers, no good on the shot, and Brock Hurst grabs the rebound. Under 20 seconds to go. Shot clock is off. Carlos Beckstrand. And, that might have saved Hinckley-Finlayson a foul because it looked like the Jags got a foul there. But a timeout called here by Barnum, and that'll be their first, They'll be left with 4, both teams will. 16 seconds to go on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, their doctors will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. You'll find a budget. You'll find a plan to fit your budget. That's how it goes at embracemn.com. So a timeout called here most recently by Barnum Bombers. It's their first, team's 4th. Jaguars trail by 3 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. With 16 seconds to go. Now it'll be interesting. A timeout called there by Barnum. I'm guessing they'll be holding on to the ball for the last shot of the half. But if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, well, one, you don't want to foul because you don't want to pick up another one. But you also don't want to let them get another 3 opportunity because they've been pretty good on 3s here in this first half. So 5 seconds to go. Inside shot, no good. Rebounded there by Osmus, and then he gives off to Peyton Ammerman for the last second chance, and it is no good. So we're at halftime here in Barnum, where the Jaguars trail the Barnum Bombers 30-27. So we're going to take a commercial break here. Word from our fine sponsors. Then when we come back, we'll talk about the first half of action here in this Section 7 AA playoff matchup between Barnum Bombers and Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars. You're listening to WCMP.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for bulk baseball and fast-pitch softball. $35 gets you cage time with your own pitcher. $40 gets you cage time using one of their top-tier pitching machines. Screens, plates, helmets, they've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
This can be the loneliest sound, and it's never the right time. Car in the ditch, you standing by the side of the road. Thank goodness Hinckley Towing is on the way. 24-hour service, experienced drivers, and state-of-the-art trucks. Put their number in your phone before you need it. Hinckley Towing, 320-385-4049. 320-385-4049.
When aches and pains are interfering with your daily life, Wellia Health wants to help. The sports medicine team at Wellia Health is here to help you get back to the things you love. Wellia Health has a highly skilled sports medicine team with a wide range of experiences. They are also experts in concussion management, a concern for young athletes and adults alike. No matter the injury, get back in the game with an appointment at Wellia Health. Call us today at 320-679-1313 or schedule an appointment through your MyChart account, welliahealth.org.
A jewelry store.
Nada.
Then it's a thrift store?
Nada. A pawn shop. Nada. Another Men's Treasure is not a lot of things. What it is a place to find gently used power tools, hand tools, tires, fishing and hunting gear, motocross gear, and a ton of other cool stuff. Stop by and sell your gently used items, or buy something at a fraction of the price of buying it new. Another Men's Treasure in Becker, Princeton, East Bethel, Rice Lake, Wisconsin, or North Branch. Or visit Another Man's Treasure on Facebook and see what came in today.
Hi, this is Sarah from Burnett Dairy Cooperative. Do you know about our propane customer referral program? It's simple and rewarding. Refer a qualified new Burnett Dairy propane customer and you'll receive a $100 credit to your account. Terms and conditions apply. Call 715-689-1032 for details and follow our Burnett Dairy General Store Facebook page. Share the warmth with Burnett Dairy, your trusted propane partner.
Hey girl, good to see you. You look great. What are you doing?
Oh, thanks. Been watching what I eat, like eating fresh.
Sounds awesome, but how do you do that living around here?
Chris's Food Center in Sandstone.
Chris's Food Center in Sandstone?
Yep, Chris's Food Center has top quality produce and meats, which helps me to buy fresh ingredients for me and my family.
Find Chris's Food Center online to view their weekly ads at chrisfoodcenter.com. Eat better, buy more, and spend less at Chris's Food Center in Sandstone. Open 7 days a week.
Exhale slowly, letting any tension leave your body. Breathe in deeply as you stretch every fiber of your soul.
This woman's gonna kill me.
I know, and she's so boring.
Now, lift your back.
I'd rather have the WCMP deals guy leading this class.
Oh, yeah.
This week, snag a 30-minute massage at Pine City Family Chiropractic for only $45. Breathe.
WCMPradio.com/deals. Slowly now. WCMPradio.com/deals. Now, breathe.
Hinckley Towing.
Hi, I'm on the side of the highway with a flat. Can you help me?
On the way.
Hinckley Towing?
Yep. How can we help?
We just had an accident and don't know where to bring the vehicle.
No sweat. We'll come out now and bring you back to our collision center.
Hinckley Towing. Experienced drivers, state-of-the-art trucks, and 24/7 service. For Hinckley Towing, call 320-385-4049 anytime. Hinckley Towing, 320-385-4049 anytime.
Promoting good health in children is the best way to ensure they'll enjoy good health as adults. Don't skip out on your children's wellness appointments. Call Wellia Health today at 320-679-1313 to set up a well child visit. Our friendly family medicine providers love to support young families by helping your children stay healthy, active, and feeling their very best. WelliaHealth.org.
Back here on WCMP 100.9 FM, WCMPradio.com with audio only. Taking a look at our first half stats, leading the way for the home team, the Barnum Bombers. Leading the way for them was Bryce Ferguson with 9 points, all from the three-point range. And then 5 for both Julian Beckstrand and Brock Hurst. Then 4 for Pierce Coprelli, 3 for Hayden Charbonneau and Carlos Beckstrand, and 1 for Owen Peterson. Brock Hurst led the team with 5 rebounds and 4 for Ferguson and 3 for Charbonneau. They were 3 of 8 from the free throw line, 17 fouls and 10 turnovers. On the other side for the Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, leading the way with 9 was Seth Olson. 7 for Grady Osmus, 5 for Trey Visser, then 2 for Ty Westrom, Blake Blowers, and Peyton Ammerman. 6 rebounds led the way for Grady Osmus, and then 3 for Peyton Ammerman. They were 50% from the free throw line with 4 of 8 on the first half. They had 5 steals, 2 blocks, and 18 fouls, and turned the ball over 6 times themselves. So they were plus 4 in the turnover margin in that first half, which is huge, and that should play a factor heading into the second half of action. But right now they just haven't been able to get their shots to fall as consistently as Barnum has. And not only that, Barnum has been able to find the outside shot just a little bit more often than Hinckley-Finlayson has, and that is quite literally the difference in the first half. A 3-point shot is the difference. You could point out to any of the 3-point shots that Barnum had in that first half to being the difference, but 3 points is the difference here at halftime for Barnum. For Hinckley-Finlayson here in this second half, I think you got to continue to keep up the pressure on defense. You've done a real good job of rebounding the ball, but you're going to have to protect the perimeter a little bit more because Barnum has showed the will, the want, and the obviously scoring ability from outside. So you're going to have to make sure that you are a little bit more guarded on the outside. Make sure to protect the perimeter a little bit because inside you're doing a pretty good job. You haven't allowed too much scoring inside. Honestly, it's been more of the mid-range jumpers than the underneath the basket layups or scoring in the paint in the first half for Barnum, despite having the size advantage in Ferguson and Hurst and as well as in Corpella. So they definitely have the size advantage, but right now, Hinckley-Finlayson just doing a really good job of boxing out. But also for Hinckley-Finlayson, try and limit those turnovers. Now, you might say, well, they only had 6 in that first half. Well, yes, they only had 6, but man, did they come at some inopportune times. They came when the offense was rolling, when the offense was getting into rhythm. So if they can limit those and kind of force some more turnovers, I think that'll be huge. And another big thing as well into this second half, I think, is going to be fouls. They didn't necessarily get into foul trouble with any one player, but they did have 3 with 2. Griffin Steele, Trey Visser, and Blake Blowers each had 2 there in that first half. So certainly not foul trouble by any means, but when you get into the second half of play, they're definitely going to have to limit those because, again, those came at some inopportune times as well when their offense was rolling, when they had some momentum going their way. So if they can limit those, kind of cut down on the fouls in this second half, I think they'll really be heading in the right direction. So, but, you know, they did get some threes to fall. Visser had 1, Olsen had 2. But I think if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, you're going to have to find a way to draw some more fouls, get some Bomber players into foul trouble, as well as battle inside and get some more perimeter shots to fall because I don't think 3 3-point shots is going to be enough. I mean, again, a 3-point shot was literally the difference in a lead for the Bombers instead of Hinckley-Finlayson. So the Jaguars have done a good job, but going to have to be that much better in the second half It's the number 5th seeded Barnum Bombers leading over your Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars and the number 12 seed. On that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, the team at Embrace believes the results of a remarkable orthodontic experience should last a lifetime. They'll keep your smile transformation where it needs to be with a lifelong retention program at EmbraceMN.com. 18 minutes are going to be up on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard once again for this second half. They have 3 locations in Pine City, Lindstrom, and in Cambridge. Both teams back out onto the court. It looks like the possession arrow will be with Barnum. So they will start with the ball to begin half number 2. And that is not ideal if you're Hinckley-Finlayson, just because of the fact that, you're down by 3, but Barnum kind of got their offense rolling as that first half came to a close. So for Hinckley-Finlayson, they need to hold Barnum off the board here at the start. And I think one of the biggest keys in the second half is that I think Hinckley-Finlayson needs to score first to kind of, not put it simply, but because it's obviously easier said than done, but I think Hinckley-Finlayson needs to score first here in the second half if they want to get back the lead. Gustafson gives it off on the near side to Ferguson. Ferguson, he'll give it back to Gustafson. Back to Ferguson again. Now to Beckstrand. Beckstrand will go inside to Corpella. Now back top of the key for Ferguson for 3, and that is good, and that is not what you want. Ferguson killed you from long range in the first half, and he starts off the second half with a 3 from the top of the key. So not what you want to see if you're Hinckley-Finlayson to begin half number 2, but you're only down by 6, so not at really any time to panic. Pass inside to Grady Osmus. He'll give it back outside to Steele now. Top of the key to Seth Olson. Now over to Visser. Visser, he looks, gives it back to Ammerman. Ammerman, far side, trying to drive inside. He'll pull up. Jumper, no good, and it's going to wind up in the hands of Corpella for the rebound. Bombers coming back the other way, but Peyton Ammerman is going to grab the steal, the first turnover of the second half for either squad. Griffin Steele drives inside. Shot is up, no good. Grady Osmus picked up the rebound and drops it in for 2. Make it 33-29. Bombers still with the lead. Corpella has it inside, nearly lost it, and he finds a way to get it over to his teammate. His shot is up and no good, rebounded by Corpella. And then by Gustafson off the missed shot, and Seth Olson fell hard to the floor. They're going to say it's a jump ball opportunity, and the possession arrow favors Hinckley-Finlayson, so they'll get it back. 33-29, they trail by 4. Jaguars have it back at Steele, gives it over to Visser. Visser looking, wanted to go to Ammerman, but instead to Olson at the top of the key. Now to Steele, over to Ammerman on the far side. Ammerman looks, they give it to Olson. Olson wanted to go inside to Osmus, instead will go to Visser. Visser tries to spin inside, he lost it, and then he'll put up a shot towards the basket. It's no good, and almost rebounded by Barnum, but it was knocked out of bounds. Carlos Beckstrand raced after it, but couldn't get to it in time, and it will stay with Hinckley-Finlayson. So apparently there was something wrong with the shot clock, but it looked good to me. Well, either way, Jaguars do get to inbound. It's Ammerman looking. He'll go to Olson on the near side. Olson trying to drive inside. Got the lane. Shot is up and good. Plus he was fouled. So he dropped the basket in. Plus the and one. And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. This foul going to be on Corpella, his third. Team's first of the second half. Seth Olson at the line for the possible three-point play. And he got the kind roll there, so he drops it in. And it's a three-point play for the Jags, and they cut the lead back down to 1. Ferguson with it, though. They're going to have Osmus on him, I think, all the time because he's the best matchup at this point for Ferguson. On the far side now with it is Charbonneau. Now over to Carlos Beckstrand. Trying to get around Visser. He'll put up a shot, Will Beckstrand. Shot is no good. Visser comes down with the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. He'll give it up to Seth Olson. Seth Olson tries to drive inside. He falls on the pass, gives it over to Ammerman. Now wide open Visser for three. Oh, it's off the front of the rim. And Visser going to swat that rebound to Griffin Steele for the rebound. Visser will go inside to Osmus. Osmus over to Ammerman. Now back over to Steele. Near side corner, Seth Olson. I should mention, Jaguars going right to left in the second half. Bombers left to right. Shot is up, no good. Rebound will fall in the hands of Ferguson for the Bombers. 33-32, they lead. Beckstrand has it. That's Carlos. Drifts to the far side, gives it over now to Gustafson. They're going to get an illegal screen here on Barnum, and that is the correct call that time. That was definitely an illegal screen, and they'll get that one on Carlos Beckstrand. Which is unfortunate for him because he now has three. Ball goes back to Hinckley-Finlayson. Visser will bring it up the court for the Jags. Visser hands it to Olson. Olson will drift into the far side corner, gives it back to Visser. Now over to Steele to Ammerman. Ammerman on the near side, back to Visser. Now over to Olson. Griffin Steele on the far side corner. Hasn't found anything on the board yet, but I'm sure that'll come sooner rather than later. Ammerman drives inside, somehow gets that one to fall. And it's 34-33, so the Jaguars have the lead right back. And now Ferguson looks, thought about the long shot, gives it inside to Hurst. And Hurst, with the reverse layup, drops it in for two. 35-34. Ammerman up the court with it. Looks for a screen, gets the screen. Has to pull in his dribble and give it over to Steele. Steele on the near side. Top of the key to Olson. Olson thought about it, pulls it down, gives it over to Ammerman. Ammerman now over to Steele. Steele, a long two, is off the mark and rebounded by Osmus. And how is that not a foul? Somehow it wasn't a foul. I don't even know if it was considered a turnover just because I don't think Hinckley-Finlayson had possession long enough for it to be a turnover. So it does go out of bounds, though. Last touch by the Jags, so ball goes back to Barnum. Julian Beckstrand inside to Brock Hurst. Now top of the key, Charbonneau. On the far side, Ferguson. Back Charbonneau. Far side. Inside to Hurst. Hurst. Pass is tipped and stolen away by Grady Osmus. The second turnover by Barnum. Olson has it, gives it over to Visser on the far side. Visser to Osmus. Now to Steele. Steele goes to the near side to Olson. Inside to Osmus. Osmus doesn't have a shot as he's guarded by Hurst. Now to Seth Olson. Olson looks for the screen. Shot is up. That's a smooth looking shot right there. Makes it 36-35 on the field goal by Olson. Julian Beckstrand has it, makes the defender miss, and he takes the three and gets it to fall. And again, the three ball is something the Bombers have working for them that the Jags necessarily don't. And it gives the Bombers a 2-point lead, 38-36. Pass inside to Osmus. He'll lob it into Ammerman. Ammerman, the turnaround jumper, no good. Brock Hurst comes down with the rebound. Tough shot there for Ammerman. Thought they maybe had a shot elsewhere, but they decide to take that one, and now Bombers have it back. Gustafson finds the lane, drives inside. Hurst gets the rebound, and Hurst can't drop it in for two. Rebound is up for grabs. It's Seth Olson who brings it in. Fast break opportunity for Ammerman. Shot is up, no good. How is that not a foul? Steele gets the rebound. Now over to Ammerman, top of the key, Seth Olson. Trying to fake out the defender, jumps, and the pass over to Visser on the near side. Visser looks to the basket. Shot is up, no good. Rebounded there by Charbonneau. Under 11.5 to go here in the game. Far side three from Julian Beckstrom, and that is out of bounds and last touched. Or Beckstrand, excuse me, not Beckstrom, Beckstrand. Meanwhile, a substitution here for Hinckley-Finlayson. We'll see Ty Westrom check into the game. And he'll inbound to Trey Visser. So 11 to go. On that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, their doctors are committed to providing world-class orthodontic care in a friendly, comfortable atmosphere. Find out more at embracemn.com. Seth Olson gets low on the drive to the basket. It's up and no good. Brock Hurst with the rebound. Nice drive there by Seth Olson, but just couldn't get it to fall. Now pass on the near side for Charbonneau. Gets around 2 defenders, drives inside. Shot is up, no good. Ty Westrom nearly got the rebound, but it was swatted out by a member of Barnum. And it will stay with the Jags, as it would have if it was a rebound by Westrom. And Westrom will drop it into Visser. And now Visser back up the court. And that whistle is a timeout called by Hinckley-Finlayson with 10:40 to go in the game. The Jaguars trail by 2 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. They'll leave you with a smile. You'll embrace forever. Find out more at embracemn.com. That's EMBRACEMN.com. Also, winter, or, well, what winter? But your local gardening MVP is Beaver Meadow Garden Center. They'll open for the season March 7th. Seeds, mulch, rock, and the experts will help you come up with this year's gardening game plan. Beaver Meadow Garden Center, I-35, just one exit south of Hinckley. Also, the Twins home opener is coming up here April 4th. And will you have your furnace or AC on when baseball season starts? Well, either way, WCMP, yes, us and Dale's Heating and Appliance are sending you to the Twins home opener at Target Field April 4th. Keep listening to WCMP for more details. So stay tuned to WCMP. We'll give you more details on that as it approaches. And a month away from today, exactly a month from today, is the Twins home opener. And we're sending you there along with Dale's Heating and Appliance. Out of the timeout, Jaguars have it. Ty Westrom gives it over to Visser. Visser goes across the court to Seth Olson for 3. That's off the mark. Rebounded by Ferguson. Right now, the Jags got a little bit cold shooting the ball. They're going to have to find something to fall sooner than later. So they trail by 2. And even though they only trail by 2, and Barnum hasn't hit a few shots here lately, Barnum has definitely got better looks as of late. Passing the ball around pretty well. Carlos Beckstrand will take it to the net. Shot is up, no good. And it's Blake Blowers with the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. Visser gets the pass from Westrom. Now he pauses, he looks. Gives it top of the key to Seth Olson. Near side for Ammerman. Ammerman picks it up, gives it to Visser on the far side. Back to Ammerman. Ammerman, little lane to drive through. Shot is up, no good. Carlos Beckstrand with a fast break opportunity. Has that one blocked from behind by Ty Westrom. And it will go out of bounds. Last touch by Westrom. So it stays with Barnum. 38-36. 9:35 to go. Inbound to Carlos Beckstrand. Dips inside to Corpella. Corpella. And as he went up and jumped, I'm going to say jump ball. So it was held on to by both sides, but jump ball, possession favors the Barnum Bombers. And once this is inbounded, it will go back to Hinckley-Finlayson. And that ball was held on to again by Griffin Steele, knocked out of bounds by Steele, so it stays with the Bombers. Bomber fans want to foul, but that was clean on the ball. Julian Beckstrand will inbound here to Charbonneau. Now top the key, Carlos Beckstrand. Driving inside. They're going to get him for a travel. Yep. He jumped up, came down with the ball without dribbling, and that goes back to Hinckley-Finlayson. That's the third turnover by Barnum. Visser has it. He'll give it over to Westrom. Westrom, top of the key, looking, gives it to Ammerman. Ammerman, spin move, inside, shot up, no good. But he's fouled, and he'll go to the line and shoot 2. And I think they did get Corpella possibly on that one. If that's true, it is his 4th. It is, so Peyton Ammerman at the line to shoot 2. Shot is up and no good. Substitution here for Barnum. We'll see Corpella leave and Hurst come in for him. 9:09 to go. Hammerman is good on that one. So Hammerman 1 of 2 there, and their deficit is now only 1, as it's 38-37. Carlos Beckstrand delivers on the far side to Ferguson, now to Hurst. Hurst couldn't hold on to it, but winds up pulling it down. Now to Beckstrand on the near side. Now to Charbonneau, back to Carlos Beckstrand. Beckstrand drives inside. Shot is up, no good. Griffin Steele gets the rebound. And then it was knocked out of bounds by a member of Barnum. So it stays with the Jags. Home fans trying to argue for their team to keep the ball off of that one, but it was close, but as they say, no cigar. Ty Westrom has it on the near side, gives it to Blake Blowers, who, you talk about a friendly bounce, got that one in. That was the friendliest of all friendly bounces to give the Jaguars a 39-38 lead with under 8.5 to go. Ferguson now over, and Charbonneau tried to pass inside, but Steele with the tipped ball, and Bombers managed to pull it back down. Carlos Beckstrand over to Hurst, and Hurst drop it back in for 2 to make it 40-39. Visser has it for the Jags, and he'll give it over to Westrom. Westrom takes it to the top of the key, then bounce pass to Steele, and now inside. Oh, foul there on Hinckley-Finlayson. Ammerman had the shot fall, but a foul here on Blake Blowers, his third, and the team's first of the second half. That's unfortunate because that gives your team the lead. So a critical mistake there for Hinckley-Finlayson. You just had the lead right back. Now, albeit a 1-point lead, at this point you're okay with trading leads back and forth because a foul like that gives momentum, and it could shift all into Barnum favor. That shot is up and good by Ferguson, and they will line for the possible 3-point play. That foul is on Blowers, which is his 4th. So Grady Osmus will check back in. And it's Ferguson at the line for the possible 3-point play. And it's good. So 43-39 is our score, with Jaguars trailing the Bombers of Barnum. 7.5 to go here in the game. Olsen, quick pass to inside to Osmus, now to Ammerman. Ammerman looking to Griffin Steele. Will go all the way across court to Westrom, now inside to Osmus, now top the key to Olsen, now over to Steele. Well, they had Ammerman open, and Ammerman still left open for 3, and it falls short on the 3-point shot. Julian Beckstrand with the rebound. Out over to Owen Peterson, and we can get a timeout called here by Barnum. 7:05 to go in the game. On that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard with 7:05 to go. Embrace Orthodontics. Your customized smile journey starts with a free consultation. The team at Embrace wants to make your journey as seamless and convenient as possible. Custom Life Force braces or Invisalign clear aligners. Find out more at embracemn.com. The Jaguars trail by 4 here in this first round of the Section 7AA playoffs in Barnum. Jaguars came in as the number 12 seed, Barnum the number 5 seed. And it's been a close one so far. Of course, over in the girls basketball playoffs, this was the same matchup in the first round, except at Hinckley-Finlayson, where Hinckley-Finlayson hosted Barnum in the first round for girls playoffs and beat them. So kind of interesting that for girls playoffs, Hinckley-Finlayson hosted Barnum, and now for boys playoffs, Barnum hosts Hinckley-Finlayson. Kind of interesting. Of course, we're hoping Hinckley-Finlayson can win both times in boys and girls. Only a 4-point difference here in this one. Jaguars only down by 4. They've had their moments, but you're going to, again, have to kind of be smart with their fouls, because the last one, I mean, that was one that gave them the lead right back, but instead, that's a 3-point swing. Now a foul, it's Grady Osmus. going to get called for the foul. It would be his first and the team's third, which will allow Barnum to inbound once again. A quick three there for Charbonneau is good, and all of a sudden, that's the danger. I talked about it all game so far. The danger of this Barnum squad is the fact that they can shoot it from out long range. So that's been the danger, and we see it now starting to affect Hinckley-Finlayson. Trey Visser, a quick three. That's going to be no good. And Grady Osmus was fouled, but they're not going to call it. And they're going to say it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Barnum. 6:33 to go. Jaguars trail by 7 now. Shot is up, no good. And Hurst with the rebound for Barnum. Carlos Beckstrand turning on the Jets. Back the other way. No look pass on the far side for Owen Peterson. He pulls it down, gives it to Carlos Beckstrand. Races after it. And it's going to be, I don't know if it was over and back or not out of bounds, but looks like he stepped out of bounds. The ball goes back to Hinckley-Finlayson on the turnover. (46-39). Jaguars still very much in this one. They're going to have to get something going. 6:20 to go. Still plenty of time, but again, with the way their offense has been a little bit slowed here in this second half, and their offense is going to, I think, have to start ramping it up. They have, even inside, they have not got their shots to fall, whether it's been in the paint, out wide. They just seemingly have gone cold here the last couple minutes. They're going to have to find something, whether it's a three, whether it's inside, whether it's a foul. They just need to find something to go their way. Ball was lost there by Hinckley-Finlayson. Seth Olson drives inside, puts up a shot, no good. Owen Peterson with the rebound for Barnum, and then this ball stolen away by Trey Visser. And up the court go the Jags. Shot no good by Griffin Steele, but he was fouled. Now they'll go to the line and shoot two. Fifth turnover by Barnum. And they got Carlos Beckstrand with his fourth. 46-39. And Griffin Steele at the line to shoot two. These are two big free throws here by Steele, as that is his first point, as that one goes up and good. So 46-40 now. Substitution here for Barnum. That one's going to be no good. Ammerman tried to get the rebound. It's going to be Grady Osmus instead. And he's fouled. Now he'll go to the line and shoot two. Brock Hurst arguing his case, but the referees do not believe him. It's their fifth team foul here in the second half. Grady Osmus at the line now to shoot two. He was 3 of 5 in that first half, now 3 of 6. Two substitutions here for Barnum. So Grady Osmus no good on his first free throw. And no good on that one. Wow. Two big misses here by the Jags. That is way less than ideal. And it was Corpella with the rebound. His shot is up and no good. It leads to Osmus getting the rebound for Hinckley-Finlayson. Peyton Ammerman tries to drive inside. He'll give it to Osmus. Osmus shot no good. And rebound taken in by Trey Visser. Now over to Griffin Steele. Trey Visser looking. Back to Steele. Back to Visser. Visser looking. Gives it to Olson. Olson inside to Grady Osmus. He nearly lost it. Gives it top of the key to Griffin Steele, and that's good. A three there from Griffin Steele. Cuts the deficit down to 3. That's a big one for Hinckley-Finlayson. Charbonneau has it. Now gives it to Julian Beckstrand. Inside Corpella. Charbonneau for 3, and he answers right back. Now that's a danger when you've got a team like Barnum that can shoot the 3 this well, is if they can get it rolling, it's going to be tough to come back. Shot is up no good on the far side from Seth Olson, rebounded by Julian Beckstrand. Here the Bombers come the other way. Now Ferguson for 3, and that's good as well. 52, and do we have a milestone here? We do. No, excuse me, it'll be a timeout. Thought we were going to get a milestone for Ferguson. Not the case. Instead, it's a timeout call here as the Jaguars are now down by 9, 52-43 on that Embrace Orthodontics scoreboard. Embrace Orthodontics, they will do all the insurance heavy lifting for you. If you don't have insurance, ask about financing options. They'll find a plan to fit your budget at embracemn.com. Spring break is just around the corner, as so is the softball or baseball season. Make an appointment today at Here's the Pitch in North Branch. Bring your own pitcher and swing for just $35, or use one of their state-of-the-art pitching machines for just $40. Here's the Pitch in North Branch. Make your plate appearance today. Don't forget that we didn't have a winter, and since you're probably ready to get out into the garden, Beaver Meadow Garden Center will be opening for the season March 7th. So this Thursday, Beaver Meadow Garden Center will be opening this Thursday. Do not forget about that, ladies and gentlemen. They will be opening this Thursday. Plus, have you got your 2024 restaurant passport yet? Better grab one at one of our 20 participating local restaurants, because it's your chance to win free food. Details at WCMPradio.com. That's WCMPradio.com. So out of the timeout, Jags left with 2. They trail by 9 after getting their deficit down to 3. It was 6 straight from Barnum. So they need a good stretch of offense and defense now, because Barnum has kind of fallen into a rhythm all of a sudden. And Hinckley-Finlayson has struggled a little bit to find the basket. Seth Olson for 3, and that's going to be good. So that will certainly help. 52-46. Bombers come back the other way, though, and again, their offense rolling. Julian Beckstrand has it. He'll go inside to Brock Hurst. Shot is up. No good. Hurst has it stolen away by Seth Olson. And then Olson is hurt as he slams into the floor on that foul. And they'll get this foul on Charbonneau. So Seth Olson will inbound off of the foul by Barnum. They have 6. Griffin Steele gives it over to Seth Olson. That shot is no good. Grady Osmus with the shot. That's going to be no good. And rebounded by Charbonneau. That was an unfortunate spot there for Osmus. He did have a player wide open at the top of the key for 3, but unfortunately looked for a different way to try and get it to fall. This shot no good by Barnum, and Osmus with the rebound. Seth Olson gives it to Steele, now over to Ammerman. Under 3 minutes to go. Jaguars trail by 6. Ammerman to Olson, now to Ammerman again, now over to Visser. Visser for 3. That's off the mark, and Visser going to wind up getting his own rebound. Gives it to Steele, now to Visser on the far side. Back to Steele at the top of the key. I think they're trying to get Olson open. He's been kind of their three-point guy here this evening. Wasting precious time with 7 seconds, now 6, 5 to shoot. His 3 here from Visser's no good, but Ammerman pulls down the rebound, gives it to Steele. Under 2.5 to go. Seth Olson grabs it, trying to go up underneath. That is no good, and they're going to say it was last touched by Barnum, and I definitely think Olson was fouled there, but referees do not agree, and it will go back to Barnum. Carlos Beckstrand starts with it up the court, then passes it off to Charbonneau. Now to Julian Beckstrand, over to Carlos. Guarded by Seth Olson, and Olson got away with a little bit of a foul there. Shot is up and good by Carlos Beckstrand, and I think they're going to get Olson on the foul. No, instead they're going to say it was Visser. So Carlos Beckstrand now for a possible three-point play. And that one's good. So 55-46, another 9-point lead again for Barnum. It's getting to crunch time now. 2:04 left here in the game. Jags trail by 9 on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. Whether you're trying to make the team or trying to take the team to the next level, get into Here's the Pitch in North Branch. They have state-of-the-art batting cages for baseball and fast-pitch softball. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. 55-46, a timeout called there by Barnum. They'll be left with 2, as will the Jags. Each side getting their game plan for these last 2 minutes and 4 seconds of play in this first round of the Section 7 AA playoffs. Of course, stay tuned. We'll have more section playoffs coming your way this week. And fortunately, but unfortunately, we're down to 2 teams in the girls' playoffs. It's fortunate for our 2 teams left in the girls' playoffs, but unfortunately for the other, 11, 12 teams that we cover, as their seasons are over. A long 2 there from Peyton Ammerman is good to make it 55-48. But Barnum has it back, and they'll obviously look to take their time. Carlos Beckstrand loses it. Griffin Steele with the steal. Seth Olson takes it to the basket. His shot is no good. And then jump ball, possession arrow, Jaguars. Seth Olson and Brock Hurst battling for it. It was jump ball, and possession arrow favors Hinckley-Finlayson. Seth Olson wasn't necessarily thrown to the court. Him and Hurst kind of fell to the court together, but he kind of rolled, so it made it look a little bit worse than what it was. And obviously with the playoff game, intensity is a little bit more. And Trey Visser loses it, and it's stolen away by Julian Beckstrand. That's their first steal of the game. And unfortunately for Jags, they did not need that. That's what I'm talking about. It's the fouls and turnovers that happen at the seemingly worst times. Brock Hurst drives inside, drops it in for 2, and that could be a statement right there for Barnum. Brock Hurst for 2, plus an and 1, and then a foul here on Hinckley-Finlayson. They get, looks like, Grady Osmus for his second. But Brock Hurst trying to make it a 10-point lead for Barnum. The possible 3-point play. And Hurst no good. So only 2 there, and it's rebounded by the Jags. That shot is up, no good. Griffin Steele somehow comes up with the rebound. Underneath, Seth Olson shot no good. Julian Beckstrand gets the rebound. A foul call was absolutely egregiously missed on Barnum. And unfortunately, it was not called. But somehow, some way, that ball rolls out of bounds and back in the hands of Hinckley-Finlayson. So it will be another turnover by Barnum. Shot no good there. And they're going to say it was tipped. I was going to say that one was well off the mark. It didn't even get close to the rim. But it was tipped by a member of Barnum. So Jags will get it back. 53 seconds to go in the game. Down by 9. Steele will inbound to Visser. Jags are going to have to work a little bit quicker than what they are right now. Back outside Visser for 3. That's good. Make it 57-51. And did we get a foul call here, I believe, on Hinckley-Finlayson? We did. They got Seth Olson for his first. And a timeout going to be called here. I would presume by Hinckley-Finlayson, which would be their 4th. They'd be left with 1 if that's the case on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard. 42 seconds left. Jags trail by 6 now. The tastiest way to our local area, the Restaurant Passport. Pick one up, collect stamps at participating restaurants, and win gift certificates to those same places. A winner every day, and our grand prize winner will receive $500 in gift cards. Also, if your green thumb is starting to itch, Beaver Meadow Garden Center will be opening for the 2024 season March 7th, this Thursday. Come in for your seeds, ideas, and garden starter needs. Keep up to date this year by following Beaver Meadow on Facebook. As I mentioned before, here's the pitch. The area's premier indoor batting cages offers individual batting lessons taught by current and former collegiate athletes. Touch them all this season by tuning up your swing at Here's the Pitch in North Branch. Here'sThePitchMN.com to learn more. Of course, thanks to all of our fine sponsors who sponsor this, plus every other broadcast that we do. We appreciate them for tuning in, or for sponsoring. And if you are tuning in, thanks so much. If you're one of our sponsors, I appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you for sponsoring us. So thanks so much. Half of the game is over. We'll look to see if any of the rest of the section bracket for 7AA is updated and see what the next round will look like. Right now, Hinckley-Finlayson holding on to some hope that they can advance. They're down by 6 with 42 seconds to go. Full court press here by Hinckley-Finlayson, but Ferguson gets up the court. And he'll slow things down. I think Ammerman, I heard 11, yeah. That'll be his second. And it's the team's 7th, so that sends Ferguson to the line for a 1-and-1. Ferguson at the line now. All of his points, except for one, have come off of threes. I suppose, except for, well, either way. Ferguson no good on that one. Hurst with a massive rebound. And then a pass back out to Carlos Beckstrand, and a foul there on Hinckley-Finlayson. It's going to be on Ammerman, which will be his 3rd. And Carlos Beckstrand now to the line for a 1-and-1 himself. That rebound by Brock Hurst might have been close to putting this one away. But a 1-and-1 from Carlos Beckstrand as he makes the first. Makes it 58-51. And no good on that one. So Peyton Ammerman will grab the rebound. And the Jags have got to move quickly. Seth Olson driving to the basket. His shot's up no good. He's fouled. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. 17th foul on Barnum. We'll see who this one is on. Is it on 15, it looks like, on Julian Beckstrand with his 3rd. Seth Olson at the line now for 2. Down by 7. No good on that one. Seth Olson good on the second. Make it 58-52. And down by 6 again with 19 seconds to go. A timeout is called. I did not see by who. It looks like Hinckley-Finlayson. So 19.6 seconds to go. Jaguars still with a chance, down by 6. But that chance quickly fading. But again, the chance is still there. And in the playoffs, all you need is a chance. That's all you can ask for, is a chance. I'll look to the MSHSL website and see if I can update the bracket and see if any other scores have been finished. So we do have some that have come to a close. Crosby Ironton beat Mesabi East 87-48. So Crosby Ironton will face the winner of Staples Motley and Piers. Also, Pequot Lakes beat Aiken 85-49. The number 2 seed moving on. So no surprises there. And in fact, all the games tonight, except for one, starting at 6 p.m. Esco and International Falls start at 7. So we have 2 games completed. The number 2 and 3 seeds of the section moving on in 7AA. Here in this one, though, the Jaguars holding on to that slim chance. Down by 6, 19 seconds to go. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. Stay tuned for the postgame, no matter what happens. Whether we go to overtime and then we got postgame, whether we got postgame because the Jaguars hit a couple shots, doesn't matter. Oh, and a big-time foul there on Ammerman. Foul there, I believe, on Ammerman. Fans getting into it maybe a little too much here. I understand you want your team to win, but they are kids out there. We gotta relax a little bit. Seth Olson turned around. And he gave the the hands down saying, just calm down, calm down. It's a game. Fans chirping at Ammerman because he fouled Owen Peterson a little bit hard, and he's at the line now for 1-1. That one's up no good, and Brock Hurst gets the rebound. And that will pretty much do it. Griffin Steele, though, he's not giving up. Griffin Steele looks for, oh my. Well, that changes things. 58-55, and man, what an effort there by Hinckley-Finlayson. Griffin Steele with a steal at the last few seconds, and then right at the end he got a three, and then an inbound by Barnum pretty much ended it. So the Bombers, well, I think they'll be thinking to themselves they kind of escaped with this one because they certainly didn't blow out Hinckley-Finlayson like they did in their previous matchup earlier in the just 2 weeks ago, 65-42. This one was a lot closer than I thought it would be. I kind of thought we would be in for a closer game, but that's going to do it here in this one. Stay tuned for our post game coming up shortly here after a word from our fine sponsors.
Arrowhead Transit plays a pivotal role in bolstering the communities it serves. By providing accessible and reliable transportation, they ensure essential travel for work, education, and healthcare. Arrowhead Transit is customer-centric, continuously evolving to meet the needs of the community with initiatives like community outreach programs, job fairs, and educational workshops, and more. Arrowhead Transit is more than just a transportation service. It is a vital part of the communities it supports. Your connection, your community. Arrowhead Transit, your ride.
Untangling your headphones, finding the right remote, saying goodbye to your favorite shirt that hasn't fit in 10 years. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who live in your community and answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like finding a new favorite shirt. That's simple human sense.
Visit Town & Country Insurance today at townandcountry-ins.com or stop in our offices in Finlayson, Hinckley, and Mora.
And here's the pitch.
Here's the pitch. The premier indoor batting cages in North Branch. Whether you're trying to make the team or take the team to the next level, Here's the Pitch has state-of-the-art pitching machines for both baseball and fast-pitch softball. If your batter needs some individual instruction, Here's the Pitch has lessons with current and former collegiate instructors. Make the right call today. They've got the equipment, you provide the batter. Find Here's the Pitch on Facebook or visit here'sthepitchmn.com. here'sthepitchmn.com.
Keep it clean at Maytag Laundry, with locations in North Branch, Pine City, Cambridge, and Mora. Whether you have rugs that need cleaning, quilts, or comforters, no job is too big for the machines at Maytag Laundry. Your items will look brand new. Whatever you need clean, the machines at Maytag Laundry are up for the task. So when you need to keep it clean, look to the big machines at Maytag Laundry in North Branch, Pine City, Cambridge, and Mora.
Aw, man. Hinckley Collision.
Hell no. My new car?
Hinckley Collision is the right decision. Fender benders, major accident damage, or hail damage. Hinckley Collision is the right decision. With 24/7 towing and fast, friendly, professional service, their collision department will get you back on the road in no time. With decades of experience dealing with insurance carriers, make the call today. 320-384-7002. 320-384-7002.
At Wellia Health, our goal is to help you live life well at every age and every stage. If you've been busy taking care of everything else but neglecting your own personal health, don't let another year go by without making yourself a priority. Get an annual checkup. Please schedule an appointment at Wellia Health today. Call us at 320-679-1313 or welliahealth.org.
More customers, more name recognition, more employees, more market share. If you'd like a little more for your business, it's time to start digital advertising. Did you know that the average person spends 4.5 hours per day on their smartphone? It's time for you to start reaching them. Streaming TV, SEO or SEM, display ads, and email marketing. If your business could use a little more, contact us now and we can help. info@q-mediagroup.com.
Back here on 100.9 FM WCMP. The Jaguars fall to the Barnum Bombers. 58-55, a last-minute surge by the Jaguars nearly completed, but the Bombers hold them off to get the victory. Leading the way for the Bombers with 18 points was Bryce Ferguson, then 9 for Hayden Charbonneau, 8 for Julian Beckstrand, 6 for Carlos, then 4 for Corpella, 11 for Brockhurst, and 1 for Owen Peterson. Brockhurst had a double-double with 12 rebounds as well. They went 3 of 7 in the second half from the free throw line, 6 of 15 overall. They had 1 steal in the game and 14 total team fouls, 7 in each half. On the other side for your Hinckley-Finlayson Jaguars, they were led in scoring by Seth Olson with 18, 9 from Grady Osmus, 8 for Trey Visser, 7 for both Steele and Ammerman, and then 4 from Blowers and 2 from Ty Westrom. Rebound-wise, they were led by Grady Osmus with 12, 5 for both Visser and Ammerman, and 4 for Steele. They were 4 of 9 in the second half from the free throw line, 8 of 17 overall. 11 total steals in the game, 3 blocks, 1 from each Steele, Olson, and Westrom, and 17 total fouls. They had 7 turnovers in the game to the Bombers' 17. So they led on the turnover battle, but unfortunately come up just short here in this one. I want to thank all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much for tuning in. I want to thank all the fine sponsors who sponsored this and every other broadcast that we do. Thanks so much. Of course, remember, stay tuned to our morning shows on 95.5 FM KBEK with Rock and Robin Riley at 7:30 and 8:30. Then over on 100.9 FM with Joshua Miron at 7:45 and 8:45. That's when you can get your local sports updates. We'll talk about this game, all the other games going on in our local listening area, plus regional and national sports as well. Also, stay tuned to our YouTubes. Be sure to like and subscribe to this YouTube page. That way, anytime we go live with a local sporting event, you'll get the notification. You'll click on it, and it will take you right to the live audio or video. Also, stay tuned to our websites, WCMPradio.com, KBEK.com for more sports info. Your broadcast schedule, go to sports, go to the broadcast schedule. That will have the links for this week's games. Also, our social medias, our Facebooks at WCMP Radio, at KBEK, and our Twitter at WCMP Radio. For all things local sports, we'll get game recaps, LOI signings, broken records, coaches being hired, coaches being, or not being fired, but resigning, retiring, all these different things local sports-wise. Everything local sports-wise we'll have for you on our websites, social medias, and our morning shows. Coming up here during this week, we'll have another game on Wednesday. That'll be more girls and boys playoff basketball. Then Thursday we'll see more, and Friday as well as probably even Saturday. So stay tuned for all of that. Thanks so much to all of you who tuned in here this evening. Thanks so much to them. A quick shout out to the seniors for Hinckley-Finlayson, Griffin Steele, Seth Olson, and Trey Visser. Those are the seniors for Hinckley-Finlayson, so shout out to them and wish them nothing but the best of luck on their next adventure, and I believe that should be baseball for them. If I'm remembering correctly, all 3 of those guys play baseball, and they went to state last year looking to repeat once again. Don't forget your local gardening MVP, Beaver Meadow Garden Center, will open for the season on Thursday. Seeds, mulch, rock, and the experts will help you come up with this year's gardening game plan. They're located I-35, just 1 exit south of Hinckley, plus we're sending us along with Dale's Heating and Appliance, are sending you to the Twins home opener at Target Field April 4th. Keep listening to WCMP for more details. And spring break is just around the corner, I believe, for most schools. It's next week. So is the softball and baseball season. Make an appointment today at Here's the Pitch in North Branch. Bring your own pitcher and swing for just $35, or use one of their state-of-the-art pitching machines for just $40. Here's the Pitch in North Branch. Make your plate appearance today. Once again, the Jaguars fall on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard to Barnum Bombers, 58-55. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Thanks so much to all the fine sponsors. Once again, I sincerely appreciate all of you who tuned in. I know you're listening for your sons, your daughters, your grandsons, granddaughters, nieces, and nephews, but I do appreciate you all for tuning in. It means a lot to me because you're the reason why I get to have a job. If you guys don't tune in, well, then I don't have a job. So thanks so much for tuning in here tonight. Again, the final score on that Embrace Orthodontic scoreboard, Jaguars fall to the Bombers of Barnum, 58-55. Remember, be kind to everyone. You never know what someone is going through, and your kindness could truly make their day. For WCMP, I'm Ethan Game Day Gilman. Have a great rest of your night.